How about now? Can you hear me now? I had mute on. I was talking to myself. Not alone near loneliness. That's not too bad like that. I may get rid of just that one pixel all the way down. Stranger things have happened, I know. Oh no. Good catch, Melissa. Good catch. We're going to switch over to the pencil here, too. Only because I just need to... Whoa, I didn't realize I made it that big. I just need to get rid of kind of some block values here. Something like this. And you can see there's, again, there's JPEG artifacting in here. If I really, really, really wanted to make this look crazy high res, you know, I could erase that font, create my own copy of that font, and smash it down so that it looked better. I don't know that that's going to be really an issue. Again, when you pick these props up, they're not crazy large on screen, so I'm not overly concerned about what that's going to look like. All I want to do here is just go and try and get rid of the sample text here. I'm not gonna print this out for the purposes that it was intended for. I actually want to build a texture out of this, a material out of this. I don't know that that is any better in terms of copyright infringement, but it's what I'm doing. Again, I could do this on my own in terms of recreating this image. You know, it wouldn't be too outlandish for me to just remake this and, you know, recreate these footprints and recreate all the text and kind of redraw the images that are there. However, I'm a little pressed for time, and so it's going to be a little bit faster for me to just take this one and make it my own. I don't need the low. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. And I am going to try and clean up. You know, there's a lot of artifacting on this. Again, JPEGs are terrible for leaving ugliness in an image. And so if I can clean that up, it'll be better. I'm reading into everything you say. You said that you would let it go, and I wouldn't get you hung up on somebody used to know. Make it up and never. We were nothing. Treat me like a stranger, and I feel so rough. But you didn't have to stoop so low. Now, these footprints here are kind of meant to make it look like Chucky's walked around a little bit, or, sorry, the good guy doll has walked around a little bit on the box. But the sample was written right across the footprints, except for this one. I'm just going to turn down the transparency on this so I can get it right back into the same place. And so I'm just going to take the footprint that is a good footprint and place it over the ones that were mucked up, like so. And I'll turn my opacity up on these. That didn't work. There we go. So that got rid of the sample text that was on those two. And now there's just this one. So we'll go and copy that. Thanks, Travis. Unless you're being sarcastic. In which case, fuck you. Down here again, holding the flowers in her hand. Okay, that's good. So that got rid of the, if I can zoom out, so that got rid of the sample that was written across those footprints without really much of an issue. It did leave a little bit of an artifact here on the fire axe that the good guy is holding. And so I'm going to try and get this nice and small here and just kind of replace these colors a little bit to try and get around that. Not that it's too much of an issue. Again, we're talking about a dozen pixels. Hey, Christian, what's up, brother? There's some text written here that says something. There's another sample that's up here. So this one's going to be pretty tough to get off the kid's head. However, I do feel that once I remove the lettering from the yellow, the little bits of it that remain on the underlying image, I don't think is going to be noticeable. And we'll give it a test here to see if that's the case. I don't think there's a drop shadow on that. I'm kind of squinting to blur it a little bit, so I'm not zooming in and zooming out here while I'm doing this. No, you are totally right, dude. So it came up yesterday during the stream. Somebody mentioned Chucky. It might have been Melissa here. And when she mentioned Chucky, or whoever it was mentioned Chucky, I was like, oh man, why didn't I fucking put Chucky in the list? And that sat with me mostly all night, to the point that when I woke up this morning, I was like, no, I've got to put a possessed doll in there as one of the characters. That's just brilliant. And so I figured instead of the doll, because the doll is the character, right? So I don't want to have the doll be the totem. I figured what I would do is I would make a good guy, which is the brand of toy that Chucky is. I would make a good guy box and leave it empty. And just put the empty box in the basement, which, you know, is creepy kind of on its own. But also kind of fits really well as a totem. And what I did is I pulled one of the other totems out. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with having 51 totems. However, one of the totems always kind of bothered me that it was in there. One of the creatures kind of bothered me that it was in there. And having a good guy doll in here removes that issue that I had. And so the other one's gone and the good guy steps in. And this should be it was him. And so anyway, so this one should be it'll be a fairly quick totem to do. It'll be a very effective totem, so it'll look really good. And it should be a fun character to make as well, so Chucky all the way around. Yeah, we were talking about a bunch of stuff. The Jigsaw from Saw came up as well. And while he's really cool, and it would have been really neat to make a totem out of the like thing that he has, the little toy on the trike, he himself is not a creature, right? Like, he's just a dude. And so he doesn't make for a good creature, but he would have had a really neat totem. Fly, but my wings have been torn in half. Let's make this fucking bigger. So I'm using the pencil tool here in Photoshop, which allows me to do essentially what is pixel art in the software. It adds aliasing to the software, to the brush, and so you end up with a a pixel perfect brush. And so I do that a lot. Goosebumps Puppet Slappy. See, I don't even know what that is, dude. Boom, 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 boom. Doom, doom. I've never seen Goosebumps. I've heard of it, but I think I was a little too old for it by the time it came out, and so it never lodged with me, never stuck with me. Big iron on his hip. So anyway, what I'm doing right now is cleaning up some of the artifacting from the JPEG. I found a JPEG online that is the Good Guy box. It's actually the Good Guy box unfolded, which is absolutely brilliant for reference. But it was a JPEG, so it's really highly compressed. With a 6 iron on his hip, a big iron on his him. Of Texas red. Yeah, I knew what the show was. I think I was just at a point where, I wasn't interested in that kind of thing at that age. And 19 more. 1 and 19 more. So most of what I'm doing here is actually removing the copyright protection. What is that? 3 pixels? Doom, doom. He was red. So yeah, they have the big a big word sample written all over the place on this thing, and I'd rather it didn't. And so I'm just pulling that out. I actually had at one point in time in Photoshop, I built an action that removed. I don't even remember which one it was now. One of the image hosting things that tries to sell you images. They had a particular watermark that they used in all their images. And I had developed a Photoshop filter that I literally just had to click one button and it removed their watermark. And I use that a lot. And it's funny because my understanding of copyright is that you are not allowed to use an image that you do not have the rights to unless you edit it. And it's funny, so them putting this watermark on this image and my removing the watermark actually creates a loophole of legalcy that, I mean, as long as I'm not using their artwork, if it's something that that they've just put a watermark on, there's a little bit of thing there. I could, but because of the JPEG artifacting, it's not perfect, and so it would give me a little bit of overlap. And so I'm going to just trying to get the bulk of it. Like, I'm not going to go through and hit in between each of the letters or anything like that. But if I can just kind of clean it up enough. Again, this is all fairly small enough, especially once I make it into a texture. It'll never get noticed. And so that's my goal, is to just kind of get close enough with this that no one notices. And there are some, like, I can scale my brush up and do larger sections faster. And you can see, like, there's a lot of artifacting in between a lot of the pixel changes as well. Oops. I'm also doing this with my mouse. So there's another really cool trick you can do too. If I go and grab a single row of pixels here, like say that, and I hit transform, I can actually just scale this down like this. And that'll remove it like it was never there. I hung my head. I hung my head. So that got rid of, at least on half the box, that got rid of the sample. So I've still got, there's a little bit around the S here, and then there's the ample. I don't care about, again, the picture of Chucky, but there's this one here. This is the one that's going to be the hardest to get rid of. Because it's mostly on this character and across these cards. And so we'll go in and clean that up. Let's go and zoom back in here. I'll start with the S. Widowed his wife. I hung my head. I hung my head. So I've got 6 totems left to do, which includes this one. And I'm looking forward to getting them done and just doing some kind of final touches. It's Thursday today. Yash, hey Yash. And so I'm hoping to get the animations tomorrow or possibly Monday. So that I can get that guy up and running. And then that's it, man. It's just testing. I've got to make sure all the cards work. So that when you get the email from the system, that, you know, it actually does send you the card. Game's kind of stupid without that. And so I'm hoping to get that part fairly done fairly quickly. Essentially what I got to do is go through the system and just make sure that every single card emails me the right information. In switching to the good guy doll here, I'm going to need to create a card for him too. I was talking earlier about doing all the high-level stuff first before making the asset. That's one of the ones I didn't do. And so we'll jump on that in a moment. Cool, brother. Cool. Does he know what kind of animation to do? Like, I know you probably would have told him to do a walk and an idol for me, but does he know the context of what it is? Make this a little bit bigger. I felt you, please. Onion. I'm gonna have to do some really small stuff in here. Let's go do this before. I'm on the outside. Inside you're ugly, ugly like me. I couldn't see through you, see you're the real you. Oh. So again, I'm not overly worried about the image of Chucky here. I'm going to get rid of that altogether. That's going to be, I'm going to try and make some cellophane, material-wise. I'm going to try and make some cellophane, and we'll see how that goes. This material is going to be a little, or the second material, I'm going to have to do 2 materials with this. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than I'd rather it be. alpha is one of the more expensive things to render in a game engine, which is why I've been very sparingly using it in my project here, because I don't want it to be too expensive to render, especially since I don't know, what kind of machine students are going to have and that kind of thing. So I'd rather be a little careful with what they're using, so I don't blow it. And my performance is pretty good. I'm getting 60 FPS on 4K, and so I'm not really too worried about performance right now. It seems to be running really well. But I don't know what students are going to be using. I don't know what kind of machines everyone's going to have, and I don't have a baseline in mind for this. I kind of just have my machine running right now. And so I do want to be careful with things, but transparency is one of those things that I've just been trying to avoid because of the expense that goes with it. And, if I can avoid using transparent materials, I have. That being said, I can't do cellophane without transparency, especially since the whole gag with this totem would be to show off that it's an empty box. And so I actually need that emptiness to be there in order for it to be, in order for it to work. And I lie here in bed all alone. Oh, we'll be okay. I'm on the outside. I'm looking in. I can see through you. See your true colors. Again, this isn't about removing stuff here that is watermark. This is just about cleaning up some of the artifacting that's there. JPEG compression is so ugly. You could just get these little boxes of random colors that appear, which just doesn't look good at all. And so if I can clean up some of that, it'll help a lot. But again, I don't want to spend forever doing it either. So this is another instance here where I can kind of speed my workflow up a little bit. I'm going to just copy the O from the other spotting good guy to replace the one that's covered. I don't. Again, a lot of goopy artifacts in here. Okay, let's see about comping that O over. Good enough. I'm going to put it here. Right on. I got to rotate it a little bit, try and get the 0 the right way. And then we'll just merge it down. So I don't know how many of you guys were present here at the end of last night's stream. But my goal was to get more than one totem done yesterday during the stream, and I ended up slowing down a lot while I was working, and spent most of the stream working on a single totem, just the chainsaw. And so, in an attempt to make sure I did a second totem, I did the tombstone in I think it was like 25 minutes, including a Z-bar sculpt, a substance painter material, and importing it into the engine. It took me about 20-25 minutes, something like that. So just a lunacy in terms of the amount of time I spent doing it, man. It was just mental. And yeah, we're down to 6 totems. This one is going to replace one. So I was mentioning this earlier, that Wendigo always bothered me as a totem. And that's because I have a totem called Forest Spirit that's in there. And Wendigo is a forest spirit, but it's a specific forest spirit. And as such, it kind of bothered me that I always had 2 forest spirits in there. So yesterday, I guess it was Christian that brought it up, the good guy doll and Chucky. I was like, oh man, possessed toy would be, that would be a really good creature to do. And so I kind of thought about it all night. And in the end, I was like, you know what? He's got to go in. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so I decided Wendigo was going to come out, and the good guy was going in. And so we've got Possessed Toy in here now as a totem. Or Possessed Toy is one of the creatures. And yeah, we're going to get a good guy box here as one of the totems. And so I think Chucky is maybe not as well known as some of the other creatures I've put in here. But yeah, we'll see how he works out. So again, I'm trying to leave the actual original artwork intact here, which is not easy, especially when you start getting a lot of colors in one area. That's where you end up with a tremendous amount of artifacting, where the colors shift and alter frequently. And so the goal is to try and just as quickly as I can replace this. Chuck E. Cheese is just scary because there's kids there, dude. That's fucking frightening. Actually, right now, any fucking restaurant is frightening to me. I don't want to go anywhere where there's people. I was thinking of you. I was feeling just the graph, couldn't help myself. I was thinking of you. I'll be thinking of you. Thinking of you. Thinking of you. Next time around. I checked my watch, smoked another cigarette, and way down, staring up at the moon. When you me in, licking your silver spoon, I'll be thinking of you. Thinking of you. Next time round. So I found out that one of my daughter's friends' mother has taken a little bit of an interest in the fact that I do this and whatnot. And I was talking to my wife about her. She's an addiction, not therapist, but might be therapist, might be the word, an addictions counselor who deals with people who have addictions. And I was telling my wife, I said I would love to sit down and pick her brain, because recently addiction to video games has been added by the World Health Organization to the list of diseases. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with an addiction to video games being a disease. I think people with addictive personalities are going to be addicted to things, and video games is just one of the things that they are into, you know. I think that addiction is what people should be inflicted with, and I think it unfair. Video games takes it on the chin a lot for issues that people have, and I take issue with that. You know, I don't like that people think differently of video games than they do any other industry. I don't think it's cool. You know, video games have been the brunt of people picking on them, going back to the 90s, and people picking on Mortal Kombat and Night Trap, saying that, you know, it's gonna create a slew of serial killers, you know, having all of this violence everywhere, and it didn't fucking do that. I don't think they give kids enough credit for their ability to tell the difference between real life and fantasy. And so anyway, when I found out this woman was a counselor in that way, it became something that I thought I would love to sit down. I would love to sit down and talk to her about this stuff and see what her input is. Next time around, King of... Okay, so that should be enough of this. That's part of the S. We should do that part of the S too. It's time to move on. Oh. He's got... So there's a little bit above the gun here that I should get. It's one of those things that video games, you know... And I don't know if this is, you know, big industry not happy with video games because of how much money they make, but like video games make more than movies and music put together, but they don't, you know, they are hammered on way more by critics than any of those other industries. We are soldiers. Oh. Well, it is, isn't it, Melissa? It's not a video game. Those D&D people are fucked up. Okay, I'm going to see what I can do here about his leg. I'm going to try and just do this with a lower opacity on this thing. Right beside you. Your battle cry. Okay, time to cut out Chucky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the eraser here with the same settings I had before, just so that I can just get enough of this thing erased that I'll be able to magic wand around it. I'm going to watch out. One of the cards here comes up and over. We stand shoulder to shoulder. 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 Get this one little pixel. We can escape that. We are the ones who will never be broken. Whoa. Whoa. So I'm trying to just remove the pixels that aren't yellow here from this. We are soldiers. Seize yourself from winter, far from every sun. I used to know before your heart turned cold. Just walk away, 'cause love don't live forever. You will remember, walk away. It could have been better. That the lies are all the same when there's no one to blame. Now I'm out here on the ledge, hanging by a thread. Away. Okay, so we went and cut out essentially just around the perimeter of Chucky here, and that'll give me the ability to now do a much faster job. Just killing the inside of this thing. So again, this is going to be a hole. At least in the model, it's going to be a hole. Just walk away, 'cause love don't live forever. Pain, walk away. So I may end up just filling that whole window with yellow, only because I don't want to use my pixels as the border. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the magic wand. I'm going to select that black, making sure I'm contiguous here. And I'm going to go select, modify, and expand. I'm just going to expand this by 3 pixels to make sure that it eats into that yellow. And then what I'm going to do is I'll just go in yellow, grab the yellow, and I'm just going to fill that in. And so now when I make the mesh, it'll give me the ability... Oh, that's not good. Just walk away. Just walk away. So there, I'm going to do that. And what that'll do is it'll allow me to use the actual geometry to cut out the shape instead of trying to use polygons or pixels to do it, because I'll get a much... What the hell are you doing? All the way up. There we go. Okay. Way cleaner. So the next thing that I need to do is actually get texture res out of this. So I'm going to zoom in on this side of the box. So there's one side, two side, three side, four side, and that's overlap that goes under there. So I actually don't need this whole chunk of yellow here. I need some of it because I do need, when I make the cardboard, I do need to actually overlay one on top of the other. But I don't need it to be that huge. So what I'm going to do, let's see, let's go zoom in and just find the corner pixel here. For the run-in, my heart started pumping. So now that I've got guides there at that corner, I'm going to see, oh, and I need some of the bottom. I need some of the bottom here too. So no, I should zoom in down here. And that... There. That's where it needs to be. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Actually, it's this corner. Even though there's nothing there. So let's see where square ends up. So beautiful. That's where I'm going to cut it. Got me running. Keep on coming. Not of your life. Stand up right now. Give me a hell. Stand up right now. Give me the go. She ain't moving slow. Pedal through the floor. You better hold on tight. So it looks like I did remove some of the footprints in the bottom of the box down here. When I did my selection and killed it, it looks like it's transparent now. I don't care about that too much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go save this here now. And I'm still going to keep it in the reference folder. I'm not going to save it as JPEG. We're going to switch to PNG. And let's go see what we can do about actually building this thing. Now, it looks a mite bit confusing to me because there's different heights and distances all over the place, which doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. But when I go and look at, let's see if I can find this here, open this in a new tab. So there is this, which essentially is this thing here. But you can see how it folds up, which is super useful, and that's what I'd like to see. So there's a little tab here. That's what holds the box cut. When I model this, I'm gonna like model the curvature in the cardboard and everything. I think it'll make it look more realistic. Actually, I'm gonna leave the lid open. But anyway, I'm gonna be looking at this guy here in terms of how to put this thing together, because that'll be important. So it looks like these edges need to be cut down here as well. And that this is actually the top that I want to follow. Anyway, to 3ds Max we go. To Max we go. Okay. So I'm going to do this in kind of a neat way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a plane in my front view. Now, if you remember, I made my texture square, right? And so what I'm going to do is just make this thing square. We're going to get rid of these edges that I don't need. Let's go 250 by 250. That's 1.5 meters by 1.5 meters. It's a big-ass box. But anyway, I'm going to place it here. And then I'll throw material on it, which I'll turn on real time here. And we'll just grab the image that was just made. And the idea here with this is that this square that I've made is my chunk of cardboard. And when I put the image on this, it becomes the printout, the cutout. And so what I can do is, now that I have this on here, and I can see how it's supposed to be printed upon, I can now go in and start adding my edges. So for instance, if I use Swift Loop here, I can add a Swift Loop there, and I can add a Swift Loop here, and here, and I think I'm going to make the two top flaps the same size, even though they aren't there. And here, and here, and here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fold this thing. And that'll give me the box. This is the flap here. So this is actually the side of the box ending here. So I'll put one here. I'm going to leave these two things the same size. And that looks like it. Okay, so now that I have those, I turn off Swift Loop. If I go to my polygon selection mode, all I got to do is get rid of black polygons. This guy. We'll go down here. These two. Whoops. So again, missed an edge here. So those guys. That again I'm going to leave. And those. So there. I've essentially got my cardboard cut out now. That I need to fold in order to make the box. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to select these edges, and I'm going to hinge from edge. I'm going to select my edge. That's going to be this one here. And I'm going to rotate this -90. Like so. And I'll say, okay. Then I'll delete the extra. So that folded that on that edge 90 degrees. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab all this, hinge from edge. I'm going to pick my edge, which is going to be this one. And again, I'm rotating it -90. And I'm going to say okay. I'm going to add the rest of the box and then hit invert and delete. And now we've got the front, one side, and the other side. We'll go down here, and we're going to hinge from edge. We're going to pick the edge, and that rotated that way, and I'll say okay. And I'll select what I don't need, which is all of this. And you can see that this 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree thing did not yield for me, actually. If I go to the top here, you can see that it made a perfect 90 degree object, but the box itself doesn't actually get to the point that it is lined up. And so what that means, it could be many factors that lead into this. The greatest culprits, I'm going to have to fix that. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to copy those G's over to these G's. But the biggest culprit here is probably actually the fact that where I use the slice did not do an excellent job. We can get rid of this edge now because it was used to create the tab, and I don't actually need the tab. We're going to also do some smoothing groups on this thing so that it holds together a little bit more like a box. Down, 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 do 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 do. So you can see too, I'm actually missing a good chunk of the bottom of the box, which is fine. I can fix that too. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab, let's go polygons here. Let's grab this one. Let's reset the X form on this. And go back and grab that one. So I'm going to grab the Y position of this. And I'm going to grab this edge all the way top and bottom. And I need to move it to that space. Now I want to watch out for my UVs here that they don't break. See how that one squishes? So what I can do is I can tell it to preserve the UVs and do it again. And that'll move it while keeping the UVs still. Okay. So what I've got now is this guy. Actually, let's move all of these back to... Actually, I think that's probably the right... Let's grab this in X. I'm going to paste this in here. I'm going to turn off that preserve UVs now, just so I don't break anything any further. I'm going to grab this edge, and I'm going to split them. And what that's going to do is it's just going to make sure that this polygon isn't attached there anymore, so that I can fold it over and actually make the box closed. Okay, so this guy needs to fold. So again, we are going to hinge from edge. I shall select my edge as being that one. And we're going to -90 this. Say okie doke. And again, get rid of the extra that was generated. That's actually going to need to go inside the box. But I'm going to worry about that a little bit later. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Only because I want to close. Again, I need the top to be open. And so we're going to do some editing here as well. So we're going to hinge from edge. I'm going to pick the edge. And we're not going to go 90. I'm going to open it up this way. And we'll get rid of the 3 new polygons. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Hinge from edge. And we'll select my edge. And we'll go open a little bit more. Just to break the symmetry on this thing a little bit. Okay. These two guys. This is gonna hinge. I know this place, it's innocence lost. So I would like to put a tab on here that doesn't currently exist. And I'm going to need to put another cut here because I want to pull this thing out as well. So what I'm going to do is add another cut here. I'm going to grab these 2 edges and split them. I'm falling from your eyes, there's no escape. You are perfect in my mind. So I'll do that. And again, delete the excess. I think I moved that. There we go. And I'm going to hinge this one too here. Let's make this one go positive. Whoa. So again, that's just the little tab that'd go into the little slot that's here that we don't actually have. Just a wicked dream. Look at the wake from the stardust. From your eyes, there's no escape. So I'm going to do something here. I'm going to try and rework the bottom of this thing. But essentially, that's going to be the totem. Again, I'm going to put a hole in here, and I have to put cardboard inside. And I've got a little sneaky trick I'm going to use for that. Pulling from your eyes, it's no mistake. You are perfect. You are perfect in my mind. Okie dokie. Yeah. Falling from your eyes, there's no mistake. So in the actual full shape of this thing, it looks like I don't actually have the entirety of the image. But what this thing does, I'm going to do this with preserve edges on, because I don't know how this is going to work out. But essentially, this needs to come down. And I need it to be the same height. So let's go and let's grab a measure. Grab a new floater. And let's grab some edge here. So this in X is 91,833. I'm going to double check that just by creating a shape from here. And go into select my shape. No. So, 52,572. So that's important because that's the length down I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this thing. Effect pivot only. And I'm going to go just snap it to this corner. And I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees down. And then we'll grab this position. Like so. And now I can go here. And grab this and paste that there. Okay. And I can delete that now. So that's now the right height for this. And the reason that was so important is just to ensure that this whole thing works, right? That I'm able to fold it up on itself and make a box out of it. And I can't make it a box if one of the sizes are wrong. I like that band, but I don't like that song. I like this song. Oh, my back is killing me, man. So what I actually need to drop down all three sides of this thing in order to make this work. And then I need to alter the shape of them a little bit. So this one is actually going to become narrow. It's going to come to a little tab down here. The ones on the side need to narrow away from, they're going to come from this way and make a tab down. And the one in the front comes straight down, but it's missing the center slot. So actually this is going to help me out really good. So let's do that now. Let's grab these edges and just go paste them in the same spot. And I'm hoping that there actually is, no there isn't. So I turned off my, go back to max, undo. Let's turn on preserve. Oh, that is preserve UVs. Oh, it must be on the top. That's what it must be. Okay, that's fine. Okay, then we're going to drop these guys down. Okay, so I've got the bottom of the box here now. I would have liked it if that worked a little bit better. Those don't have UVs on them, but it's whatever. It's not the end of the world. Okay, so let's start at the back of the box. This guy needs a cut here with a gap in that polygon. This one, and yet I find, and yet I find. Ooh. So I'm going to do this here too. Okay, so polygons, and I can grab these and delete. What the hell's going on? I move and the thing just shoots into outer space, man. So I'm just going to go and connect these vertices here. Oh, that does come down a little bit. Okay, not going to do that yet. I got to put this here. And yet I find, and yet I find. Okay, so that gives me my little pyramid shape here that I'm supposed to have for this. I guess I'm going to go see the actual website where they build this thing. Oh, fuck you, Pinterest. God, I hate that website. I do, with a passion. I hate Pinterest. I have a plugin, a plugin for Chrome that has a button that prevents Pinterest from being loaded. It is the worst possible website there ever could be. You know, I'm Googling images and I'm trying to find reference material. Finding a disembodied image on Pinterest is the least useful thing there's ever been. Especially if that image is part of a collection of images. You know, I don't want to see somebody's Pinterest board where they put one image that they thought was useful. That doesn't fucking help me, man. I just explained it, Christian. Okay, so I want that one open. And I'm going to close this. So step one is this guy. Yeah, but it's disembodied interest. Like, nothing is unique to Pinterest. You won't find anything on Pinterest that's not on the rest of the internet. Right? Pinterest is just a place where you collect images from everywhere. But the problem is that what if you're looking for reference for something, right? Let's say you're making a gun, okay? You're going to make a Bren machine gun, and you find an image on Pinterest, and it's a really, really good image, but that's all you get. right? And if you go to the website that image is from, there might be hundreds more just like it of different angles and stuff. But Pinterest doesn't show you that. Pinterest just shows you one disembodied image that somebody thought was useful for one board. It's useless, right? The only thing that's there are collections that people thought the images go together. And so, yeah, no, I hate that Google finds Pinterest when you search for images. I think if you want to use Pinterest, that's fine. You type in Pinterest.com, you go fucking look at disembodied pictures. But don't overload Google with it. It's stupid. Okay, so this guy's going to fold -90 to fold up and say, okay. Okay, so this one, I'm going to hit grow, remove that, and hit delete. Okay, this one, we're going to, let's do it from this side. Extrude along spline, pickety spline. Say okie dokie. This one, grow, remove, delete. Okay, so I've folded up, technically I've folded up the bottom of the box. That's what it is. There should be a hole in here. So I'm going to do that. This doesn't need to exist. So, again, hinge from edge. Jesus, Murphy. Pick the edge. This one. Okie doke. None of that needs to exist. That. Is bunk. That makes the bottom of the box work. That's actually not long enough. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to grab this, and we are going to hinge. We are going to grab my edge and say -90 is right. I'll just delete this. And these two triangles. Okay, so what I need is the little polygon here. Well, that's not useful. Somewhere beyond happiness and sadness. What creates my own madness? So I'm going to give this thing some thickness in order to make it actually look like cardboard. I think before I do that, I should make the cutout. And I'm also going to rotate it this way. Let's effect pivot only, center to the object. Getting away with murder. Getting away with murder. Okay, I can probably get away with doing an auto smooth on here. Getting away with murder. Meditational. Getting away with murder. Okay, let's go cut this guy out. Getting away, getting away, getting away, getting away, getting away, getting away, getting away. Murder. Okay, so I want to avoid, if I can, putting too many edges on this thing. Bray Baruch. How you doing, brother? Let's turn my preserve UVs on. Grab my vertices. Creates my own madness. Punishment. I feel irrational. Getting away with murder. So, Mike, your question that you asked me earlier, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this just above the card. Getting away with murder. Had to do with the resolution of the textures that guy was using, right? Or gal, that artist. And you kind of answered your own question in what you were saying next. So when I look at that model that you sent me an image of, what I'm seeing is UDIMs, and I'm seeing maybe, I don't know, 10, 20 UDIMs on that thing, and a polygon count, at least in terms of that gun, of, I don't know, 20k to 50k. I find that when you guys get into doing guns, you undershoot your polygon count a lot. And I'll kind of show you what I mean here in terms of polygons. So here is 1920 by 1080. This is the typical resolution that most video games are played at, and if you think of a first-person shooter, in which you're going to see a gun like that take up a good chunk of the screen, right? So if you think of the hands kind of out there doing this, you know, you're going to get one hand. Wow, that's laggy. Why are you so laggy? Let's try the brush. Hardness on, size down. 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 Let's go back here. So you're going to see the hand, you know, this one grabbing it this way, and then you're going to see the gun kind of here, and it's going to come back kind of this way, like that, right? And you have your little scope, you know, maybe stick up here. And it might be a little bit lower than this, you know, maybe it's down. Let's, yeah. Convert to a normal layer. Maybe it's down here a little bit. It's not a group. You know me. So maybe it's down here or whatnot. So when you look at the total number of polygons that fill the screen by this one object, you know, this is taking up like, I don't know, 20% of the screen. And so when you think of how much real estate space is allotted to something of this size, you know, that's typically where you're going to start getting your higher resolution meshes, right? Because A, it's right in front of the screen. It's right there in front of the camera. And B, you know, you're getting a mesh that is on screen all the time in your game, and it takes up a good chunk of the polygons or of the screen space. And so you're going to find that something like this can be much higher in resolution than you might typically think. And so you're going to find that when you do a first-person shooter like this, you know, it's not unheard of to get those polygon counts really high in a first-person shooter. When you start getting into things like The Last of Us, where, you know, now you're talking about Joel, you know, who's about this big on screen, you know, with his beard and his hair. His gun, when he holds it in his hand, right, is only like that big. Way smaller on screen, and it's taking up a lot smaller percentage of the total number of pixels on screen. And so for that gun, you're going to end up with a much lower polygon count, maybe 2,000 polys, and you're only going to get one material ID. And so when you're texturing your gun, this is one thing that, like you and Christian, you got to be careful of this too, because you're doing a lot of guns. You need to specify what that gun is for when you texture it, because if you don't, it could be stupid high poly for a gun meant for, I don't know, a game like Hitman, right, which has a lot of guns. But at the same time, it might be too low poly for anything else. And so you really got to know what you're doing in terms of what the gun is for, and you need to specify that too, right? You need to put that in your asset description, because if you don't, again, it may look like you don't know what you're doing, and so that becomes really important as well. I just noticed that I didn't even friggin' center this in the view. It's crazy, man. I think instead of free cutting this, which seems to be what I'm fucking doing right now, I'm gonna go and make myself a cylinder to use as a cookie cutter. Something like that. I didn't actually make it. There we go. So I'm going to go paste it at the same place here so that the height is right. And we're going to bring the radius up. It's one of those things that, and I get asked this by students all the time, what's the polygon count that I should do for a gun? And that's not there's no answer to that question, right? That's not a question that can be answered in a simple number. It depends. What's the gun for? How many guns are on screen? What kind of game is it? All of those things play into that. Okay. So I had to move the height down a little bit. It's over. I'm gonna grab my fan. Give me a second, guys. Hoo-yah. I tell ya. This new desktop heats up a room like it's nobody's business. I mean, my monitors aren't great for heat either, but man, is that thing heat up a room. Okay, so I'm going to start with the cut tool here. I'm going to start on here, turn on snaps, and walk my way around this thing. It's your decision. And again, I'm just looking to make a hole in this thing. I'm going to make this whole damn thing cardboard. And so I'm not really worried about even polygon count. Like it's a box. There's not going to be a lot. I'm going to maybe hit 1,000 polys on this thing. So I can go and cut this out. Now, the nice thing about cutting this out is that it's going to give me more UV space that I can use, because again, that's in there. And so I might be able to throw something else in there. I don't know that I really have anything else that needs doing. But worth noting that I can do that. Okay, I'm going to take this row of polygons here. Nowhere. And I'm going to move them out a little bit. Because, again, I'm going to put a shell modifier on this. It's over. And so I want to actually be able to see the cardboard edge on the side here. And then the same thing down here. I'm going to take this. And I'm going to hit grow. We'll deselect this now. Turn that off. What the hell? Yeah, I've got too much topology down here. Something wonky happened. Looks like I also broke the, looks like I broke the bottom of this thing too. The UVs are all broken down here. I'm not sure how I did that. Let's see if we can go edit it though. I was trying to be careful that I didn't break the UVs. Okay, which ones? Oh, he's fine. He's fine. Okay, so they were temporarily broken. They're fixed again. So it's the back that has the flap with 2, and the flap with 1. That one. Grow. Grow. Okay, so this one's going to come down. Like so. I'm going to remove the little polygons. Bring that down. Let's get rid of my material here for a second. Because I can't see shit. Three polygons. They're all... So I'm going to hinge this again. I'm not going to be able to hinge it. Okay, let's do this. Turn the snaps off. I want to introduce a little bit of wonkiness in the box, but not enough to make it look gimpy. I just want it to look like the cardboard is folded here. Okay. Let me put the thickness on this and then we'll give it a try. So here's the first thing I'm going to do is select all of my polygons. I'm going to make sure that the material ID is set to 1. And then I'm going to put a shell on it. I'm going to use the area where I split the thickness already. This is not an outer amount, it's an inner amount. And that thing is going to determine the thickness, and I'm just going to make sure I straighten my corners here too. That's too much. That's good. Okay, so now, if I go to polygons again, undo. There we go. I'm going to make sure that I select the outer faces. And I'm going to convert this to an editable poly. Polygons. Okay, so these should be set 1. I can now invert and put this on 2. There we go. We'll grab everything and we'll auto smooth it again here. Okay, the next thing I want to do is soften the box in a couple of places to make it look not so 90-degree razor edge sharp. And this is something that is occurring because, well, it was made out of polygons, so it is fucking 90-degree razor sharp. And so I'm going to go and chamfer a few of these corners to just make it look a little bit more rounded. Which should be a fairly easy thing to do. That one's good. You can go all the way down. That one. And I wouldn't mind doing it all the way around here, too. There and there. And here. Again, I want to give it a little bit of rounding. Here. See, again, I made this so, like, to the millimeter precise that it doesn't make sense anymore. I'm going to have to move those to make them work. Okay. Okay, let's see what this looks like here. So we're going to add a chamfer. And again, the goal in this is just to give the box a little bit of a round to make it feel. Yeesh. I think that's better. Just checking out, making sure these corners hold up. We can get a little wider on this. But yeah, I think that'll help hold it a little bit more. I'm gonna kill the tension a little bit. What's my drug of choice? And what have you done? So I'm gonna turn my material on. Doing modeling is a good way to fuck up your UVs. So I do want to be careful that I didn't do that. Okay, let's see what we can do with the bottom here. Because again, things were so mathematically correct that I'm not getting a good shape out of this. So I'm gonna bring this kind of over here. I'm gonna rotate it just a little bit. Okay. My drug of choice. Okay, that's not gonna go in. I thought that would go in. Well, what the hell is it then? Let's do this. And what's my drug of choice? What have you done? There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, I'm going to pull that one up like that. And it's that face right there that needs to come in. Now we're getting somewhere. I'm going to bring this in. Just these. I'm a whisper lost upon wind. I'm the ember that'll burn you down. I'm a water that'll drown you. I'm a star that's just a black hole now. I'm a terrifying angel. I'm a freak decaying on the ground. The anger. It makes no sound. I make no sound. Well, that should look better down here now. Stand up and break my bones. Everybody wants what they all unfold. There's nobody giving up, 'cause nobody gives a fuck. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. There's nobody praying for me. I'm a forest. I'm a lizard with a poison tongue. Yeah, I'm the one who sacrificed his son. An old man done. And a loaded gun. No, that is it. And nobody giving up, 'cause nobody gives a fuck. Stand up, break my bones. Everybody wants what they just can't hold. There's nobody praying for me. I'm not even sure what that one is. Because if I stand up, break my bones, everybody wants what they all unfold. Nobody giving up, 'cause nobody gives a fuck. Break my bones, everybody lost when they just can't hold. There's nobody praying for me. There's nobody praying for me. This is actually going to go below that. Which is this. Below. And these two below. But they can end shy. Is that 3? That is 3. You have to have it all. You little bastard, you will get what you deserve. Okay, pull this one down and under. And this one down and under. Okay, I think we got something that'll read as a cardboard box now. So the other thing that I want to do here is just go to my polygons. We're going to select ID1 and invert. This is all ID2. I'm going to go to material here, and I'm going to assign a new material to this. And I'm going to call the one with the picture outer, the one without the picture inner. And that way you can see where the brown untextured cardboard or unpainted cardboard is going to go. Oh. Hold me down. Hold me down. So I just put a modifier on here to get rid of my n-gons, and I need to put the sheet of cellophane in the back. And so I'm going to try and actually fuck the cellophane up here in this software, and I'll see how that works. I've got enough topology to this. I'm not even at 500 polygons. This is going to be one of my favorite totems. So I'm going to do this with a plane. And just like what would happen in real life here, I'm making it larger than the hole, and I'm going to go press it up against the cardboard, where the cellophane would actually be. So again, we're going to see little tiny gaps in between here where you would actually see it. The other thing that I'm going to do is convert this to an editable poly, and I'm going to grab my polygon here, and I'm going to grab a slice plane, and I'm going to turn my rotation snaps off here, and let's bring this guy a little bit closer, and I'm just going to slice this kind of all over the place. And the idea is to get some kind of randomness to it. Come on. Maybe something like that. It's not too bad. And I don't want n-gons on here. Let's put a turn to poly on this. There we go. So that's kind of what I wanted. I just put a bunch of, it's still planar, but there's a bunch of like random edges on it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a modifier on here called noise. And again, I'm going to turn off my wireframe. And we're going to increase the noise. And I'm going to make sure the noise is happening in Y. That's not Y. Let's do it in Z. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to bring the scale way down. And the idea... Let's do this in the top view. the idea is to just get enough variation in this thing using the noise. Like so. Okay. And again, I'm going to have to move the vertices that don't play nice back inside the box. And what I'm going to do is oh, that one. What are you doing out of here? Get back in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take every polygon that exists here. I think I got to move that one back too. There. And I am going to do an auto smoothing group here, but I'm going to set my angle to 0.01. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me these shapes in here. And for the actual low poly one, actually, yeah, I'll do this like this too. I'm going to use this with the chamfer to make sure these things get rounded, so it looks like crinkling in the cellophane, so it's not like a brand new looking thing. Okay, let's do some UVs on this sucker. Now, in terms of UVs, I get to do 3 sets of UVs. This one's already done. I don't have to do anything with that. This is going to have 3 materials on it, which, remember I said it was going to be one of the more expensive ones there is. Cellophane. We've got the outer cardboard and then the inner cardboard. So I'm going to go to polygons. That's not going to work. Grab this. Polygons. And we're going to go to select ID number 2. And we're just going to unwrap that because I don't care what ID number 1 looks like in terms of being different from this. So this is going to work really, really, really well. All I need to do is break the thickness off of this and then reposition it again. So if we do this, flip it, and then do this. Boop. So my understanding here is that Max does this on occasion. That this face is not being given a fair shake. That didn't... Oh, yeah. So I have to go around and grab all the thickness edges that were created. Because they're not going to show up. And so if I just kind of walk my way around this, there shouldn't actually be too many of these things. But I just want to make sure that they get a cardboard texture as well. So that they fit. I'm just going to do a planar map on these. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab all the polygons. And I'm just going to do a flatten mapping. Yeah, do it. And then I should be able to remap these things. If I can find them all. Yeah, I don't even care about that. I think I'm going to say fuck it. And I'm going to leave them just like that. And I hit a limit of I don't care. Okay. 1 cardboard box. So we're going to export this with its 3 materials. Let's go to... How big is a good guy doll? How? Because the box I remember being really big next to the kid. How tall is Chucky from Child's Play? 29 inches. So this box has to be 100 units tall. Man, that's bigger than I expected. So we'll make a box. This box is going to be 100 by 100 by 100. And we'll just go 0 this out. And then I can grab my box here and scale it until it's about the right size. And we're going to say effect pivot only. And again, I'm going to 0 these out so that if I need to move them, I can. This is actually going to be rather large. It's cool though. I'll put it on the shelf. You might not even notice that it's there. Export selected. Projects. Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods. Totem. No, FBX totem. The fuck am I doing? Possessed toy. That was really weird. The overwrite, are you sure you want to overwrite this file? Was the same key as the chord that had just been playing on the guitar. That's really fucked up. Okay. So now that that's been exported, I'm going to keep this here. So I need to high poly this thing now. What happened to my... Did I not chamfer this fucking thing? I remember having chamfered it. Let's hope chamfer doesn't fuck up my... Fuck up my UVs. I definitely don't want to be re-unwrapping this sucker again. That one's fine. That one's fine. Okay, let's chamfer this. I don't know why the chamfer broke. So this is going to be quad. I had set the tension to 0.75. And I brought it down really small. Yeah, it's fucking up my UVs. Okay, I won't do that on the low poly. I'll do it on the high. Okay, so we're going to smooth and group this. I'm going to bring this down to 5 and auto smooth. And we're going to put a chamfer. Unsmooth edges. Minimum angle off. We're going to be using the uniform, and the amount is going to be tiny. And put a turbo smooth on. Okay, this needs its own set of... That's probably fine. Okay. That one too. Oh, that one too. That one too. Okay, so that one looks good. We're just going to grab these modifiers and drag them onto this guy. And I'm going to make the chamfer unique. And I'm going to increase the value on the chamfer. And that's just going to ensure that I don't get folds in this, but they look more like crinkles. I'm going to make this unique too. Good enough. I didn't fucking name anything when I exported this. Anyway, stupid. Box underscore high. Cellophane underscore high. Let's export this. Export selected. Refusing to let down. You're not the only one. Let's start a riot. Okay, so we'll do this. And I'm going to delete it and import the low poly that was already made. Totem meshes. This is possessed toy. So stepped on, you're not the only one to go down. Okay, there we go. We'll just re-export these. Riot. A riot. Quiet night tonight. Only 3 people watching. 3 of you, that's it. Where's love? Keep getting low numbers like this, man. I may just stop streaming. Okay, 2K. Let's start a riot. A riot. Let's start a riot. Ow. A riot. Right, that was the other thing I wanted to do. Is set this to be 1. Let's start a riot. It's funny how sometimes you just see a mesh in another software package and you're like, oh, yeah, that's wrong. No, Melissa, you've been on your best behavior. And that is peculiar. Okay, so the other thing I need to do is Photoshop. That's not Photoshop. That's Photoshop. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to eyedropper the yellow, and I'm going to fill the background color with that yellow. And that should kind of screw up all the screw-ups that are here in this thing. There's a few places, like over here, that I can see some white in the image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this one with the brush. Turn that all the way up. And I'm just going to go over those to kind of kill them. Once again, I don't necessarily want artifacting or anything there. If I get artifacting, I'd like to put it in the texture. You know, if I get any kind of imperfections, I want to make sure that it's something I'm choosing to place and not something that's just ending up. I'm going to get rid of these feet too. If indeed I cared at all, never had a voice to protest, shat to digest. I wish I had a reason. For this I gave up trying. One good turn deserves my dying. So I just didn't like the how dark some of these G's were. And so I'm going to go and replace them. I won't let go till it bleeds. With these ones. And I'm just going to make sure here that this didn't overwrite anything. Okay. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Hiya, Rich. I was just commenting on how quiet it is today. And who should show up? With its memories, diaries left with craft again. I don't need to be. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I won't let go till it bleeds. This is going to be this. Apply to all. Yeah, that's fine. Ambient occlusion. Crank it. Apply to all. Thickness. Apply to all. And bake all. I should have checked. That all my materials were right. But I did not. So cellophane worked. Inner box seems to be working. Now I'm not actually going to texture the cellophane material here. That's going to be completely done in Unreal. I don't actually need to do anything here. I might put a spattering of dirt, but that'll be it. Actually, I won't even do that. I'm going to leave it pretty clean. In this hole, that is me. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's go to our texture sets. I'm going to start with the inner box. And go to the materials. I've been it to me. It's sad, overwhelmed. And we get cardboard. And I'm just going to go in here to the cardboard. Make you happy now. Somewhere in here. In this hole, that is me. Yeah, turn that down. Serenity. And now being it to me, so overwhelmed. Yeah, I don't think I need to make it dirty. Yeah, I think that'll work. I don't dig the two identical wrinkles on that lid, but I think it'll be okay. Oh. I'm gonna hide the cellophane. In this hole, that is me. Pull me out of here. Okay. Man, that's going to look really good. Feeling happy now. Not so good on the bottom. That's okay. We'll see how many people actually look at the bottom. Are you feeling happy now? I gotta shrink the good guys down. Does it make you happy? Do-do-dee-doo. This... Oh, I forgot about this. There's an issue with Painter, and that it doesn't allow you to re-import an image, which I would absolutely love. Once you bring something in, it's in. There's nothing you can do about it. Damn it. What's the point of the thing? Oh. What are you gonna do? Okay. How much do I care about that G being... Oh, and that S. I don't care. At this point, it's fucking done. Okay, so I'm gonna go to roughness. Grunge. Okay, that's not bad. I'm gonna also bring my cardboard smart material. Where'd you go? Cardboard. I'm gonna put that underneath this. And that's gonna give me the lines on here that matches what's on the underside of this. Oh, what do you want to do? And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees so that it's vertical. It's actually these lines that I'm interested in getting here. They're stronger than I want them to be. It's really the only thing I'm using this for. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my height here. Wow, those are in the normal. Normal. And I just want to pull them down a little bit. Again, I want it to feel like cardboard, but it should feel like the outside of cardboard where there's print on it. There's a little bit of artifacting in there. Okay. I'll fix it in here. What are you gonna do? Damn it. I hate when it does that. Let's see how many of these stupid things I can correct while I'm here. Oh, what do you want to do? Okay, this one. Come on. Man, I should be using my stylus. Let's not make this too perfect. Something's going to gay. Okay. It fixes the G somewhat. What else was broken on this? Oh, nothing jumping out at me. Do 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 do. Oh, that's because those UVs are over one another. Right. Do do ticket to go do ticket to go do 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 do. Material. Okay, I dig it, man. I dig it. Let's put a little bit of dirt on this. I don't want it to be filthy, but do do. Let's go here. Black mask. Jenny. Dirt. Do do do. Do 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 do. So one of the really cool things when you have multiple IDs is the the ability to do something like dirt, right? That's a pain in the ass to have to go against, to go into more than one material ID and make the dirt match. So one of the things you can do that's really, really cool is if I right click on this material, this layer here, this area of my shader, what I can do is I can go and instance this across all materials. And what that'll do, if I can find it, instance across texture sets. And what that's going to do is just say, okay, which one of these other textures you want to put this on? And I'll say, yeah, put it on the other two. And it'll go and dirty the other two, just like it dirtied this one. Now, technically, the inside of this box probably shouldn't be as dirty. So I go to the inner box here. There's the instance dirt. And what's cool is I can put a black mask on this. And I can add a generator to the black mask. And I'm going to put a generator on here called dirt. And then I can pull the dirt level down on the inside. So we're still going to get, down in the creases down here a lot, but it won't be as dirty. Now, the other thing that I want to do is turn the cellophane back on to see what it's doing here. And I can see tiling on here, which isn't going to work for me. So I'm going to go into the cellophane material. There's the dirt. This is the only thing that's here is the dirt. And so I'm going to delete this from here. And I'm going to make my own instance of dirt for this. So I'm going to turn the roughness up on this. And actually, you know what I should do? Let's make a base for this first, which is going to be white. And roughness down. Want it to be shiny. Actually, I'm going to go from white to a little bit of gray. I don't ever want to go full white on things, but I just want that shine to be there already. And this is going to be the plastic. And then what I'll do is I'll put some dirt on top of the plastic. And we can set that material. The perfect that I am today. So again, I want to kind of break up that tiling a little bit. And this is the smile. So I'm just going to change the scale on it a little bit. I must be sleeping. But now that we're here, okay, I dig it. Okay. Unreal 4. And we'll export this. I'm so afraid. And then we can go bring this into Unreal. 15. It's a good thing to remember that now. So totem meshes, this is no longer called that. It's now called this. And now that we're here, so far away. Okay, so this one's going to get its own folder. And that's because I got to make some unique materials for this guy. So those are my materials. And we'll bring them in. I've got 3 ARMs that I need to convert. 1. 2. 3. Okay. And let's start with the first material. This is going to be a master material. And we're going to bring the color in. We're going to bring the arm in. Rough. Metal. No. AO. Rough. Metal. And the normal in. Every feeling that I get. Okay, so let's make some parameters out of these so that we can change them. But I still don't miss you yet. Only when I start to think about it. Everything about you. Do I love you? Okay, there's the inner one done. Lastly, we can do the cellophane. So this is going to be a brand new material, or not a new material instance, but a brand new material. Cellophane. Normal and his buddies. Now, I want to go full screen for this because there's a few more things I need to do here. So this is going to be a translucent material. In the translucence, it's going to be using the translucence surface translucence volume. Only when I start to think about it. Red, 1 minus. It goes into the opacity. Rough. Ambient occlusion and metal. And the normal. I start to think about you, I know. So another thing that I'm going to do here is create a Fresnel. And I'm going to set some refraction. Based off the Fresnel. And this is just going to give me some distortion in the plastic when you start seeing it at angles. And so it's kind of this kind of thing here. Now the idea is to get these numbers down to the point that they're not extreme. So if I do 0.9 and 1, I want just like a slight variance in it. I want your eye to just kind of catch that something is warbling. That's not quite enough there. Let's try 7.5. So that's enough. It's just starting to catch it there. And so that'll help make it feel a little bit more plasticky. Now the other thing that I want to do here with the transparency is I'm going to add let's actually do an add. And you bring me to my knees. So I'm going to add a little metallic to this. Which should just help with the reflection a little bit. I felt insecure, Can't really tell how well I'm doing just on that. So I'm gonna start assembling this on the asset. And we'll go back down to the doll folder here. I'm on the outside, I'm looking in. I can see through you, see your true colors. So I'm going to go see how that's doing. So I already saw something I didn't like, which is it's refracting the outside of the box instead of just the inside, which means my refraction values are set too high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move out here, so I shouldn't see this. And I'm just going to go edit that material again. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an instance of it. MI plastic. MI and then we'll just open that instance up. That I've tried my intention. I did not make those parameters. So we're going to create two parameters here. And we'll call this high and low. But I'm on the outside. I'm looking in. I can see through you, see your true colors. Inside you're ugly, ugly like me. I think the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the Fresnel. I just want to preview the Fresnel here. Yeah, so I'm going to add a power to this. Set the power to 3. And use that in here. All this wasting, all inside, and I feel. Let's go back to this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that to this. All alone, I can bend, and I feel tomorrow will be okay. I'm on the outside, I'm looking in. I can see through you. That's what I'm trying to achieve is reflectivity when you get to a sharp angle. See you, the real you. Okay, so now it's just my high and my low. So let's set them both to 1. Nope. And that should give us none. Okay. Let's set this to 1.01. No, 9 point. Come on. Okay. This guy, blueprints, this guy, this one. Let's get out of this map first and foremost. Okay. So I'll rotate this 90. Cool. Let's check and see that it works. Okay, so the cellophane's no good. I'm gonna kill the refraction. Toy box. Cool. A good guy doll. I always wanted one of the... Oh. The box is empty. I wonder what could have happened to the toy inside. Yeah, I do believe that's probably one of my favorite fucking totems. I'm going to go in and re-UV the bottom of this, because I'm not pleased with it. And I'm going to kill the... I'm going to kill the refraction. Possess toy. Yeah, see, that shouldn't happen when you get back far enough that you can see the object in its own reflection. Doesn't make any sense. So let's go into textures and materials and doll. Where'd it go? There it is. Alpha frickin' Beticle. This. I think what I'm going to do... Let's just kill the refraction. I think that'll look better. And then UVs. That's in max. So I'm going to go to polygons and select set number 1. This guy? Will I have room to put this in here? No, I think the other one's fine. There we go. I didn't think it was going to bother me having that little bit of stuff on the bottom. But it did. No! See, I almost overwrote the wrong totem. Okay, I'll go check it out again. Where am I? It's this way, this way. Yeah. That's fine. It's not going to be fine. I can't leave that as fine. The cellophane is completely broken from this side now. That's rather peculiar. And that's the material doing that. Oh, because I'm adding 0 to it. I'm adding 1. What was I adding to it? Oh, the Fresnel. That's why it's broken. Okay. There we go. And I can see the box again. Okay, done. We can close the totem list, cellophane list, and the plastic. Okay. Let's go see what I can do about that texture. Can't stand the thought of you now. If you think you want me, trying to break through. You know what I'm gonna do? Why can't I get through? Just gonna copy this part, which is dirty color, and place it over there. All over now. Me, I can't go down. Party's all over. I want to avoid that little seam that's in there, so we'll just go and use the rubber stamper. Paint that out a little bit. Can't stand to look at your mouth. If you think you want me. Okay, I need that open, because I want to see the bottom of it. And re-import that. Do. Yep, that works. Good enough. Good enough. Shave all. I do want to go check it again with the cellophane in the level. This way. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm forgetting where some of the totems are. Trying to get through. Okay, I'm gonna fake something on the cellophane. This is not something I typically do, but it's something that I think I need to do here. So I'm gonna go into my images folder. I'm gonna see if this works. I'm not 100% sold on it yet. I'm gonna grab the this guy. So this is it's the map, right? It's an environment cube of the map. It's a very early one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an environment cube out of that in the material. So if I go into the doll material here, which is this one, the cellophane, and then we go back into here. So I'm going to select that guy there, and we're going to create a texture sample cube. like this. And this, I'm going to just do a little bit of fakery here to try and get a little bit more reflectivity out of this object, even when it's in the dark. This is not something I totally recommend you do, but it is really cool when it works. I'm going to plug the RGB into the, not the anisotropy. That's wrong. Into the emissive color. Hey, come on. Into the emissive color. Now, I'm going to grab a reflection vector and plug that into the UVs. And what we get is a reflection of that map in the plastic. Now, the reflection glows, so I do want to be careful with how strong I make this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to darken it by putting a subtract in here. Because, again, the closer to 0 we go, the more... right, so now I'm subtracting 1, so we're going to get only the hottest spots in here reflecting. But the idea is to put a scalar in here now. And I'm going to just type glow in here. And I'll leave it at 0 as a default. And that way the whole thing will show up again. So now I'm going to open up the instance. And you can see, like, it looks more reflective now, even though it's not really a reflection. And the idea, I feel like I should have taken the run out a lot later in production. I feel like it takes me a long time to get anywhere. I can't escape the voice I made. So let's see if this looks any better. So I'm already seeing reflectivity in here that makes it feel more plasticky. So that angle right there picks stuff up real nice. It's quiet now. And so again, it's not crazy accurate, but it does just help it read a little bit better. And again, you can actually see it just as it's sitting there on the ground, which is kind of cool. Okay. Let's pop out of here. Let's go back to the totem list. And we'll save all while I'm at it here. Time check, 10:41. I believe. Okay, let's see. I've got the Scarecrow, which I'm not entirely sold on yet. The Doctor Satchel. The Plant. The Mutant. That's going to be a little A-bomb. Wait, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy shit, I'm down to 5. Five totems. 5 totems to go. Let's do the Mutant. Let's do the little mini A-bomb. That should be another one that should be as straightforward as they come. Okay. To max we go. Reset this. The less I know, is it over yet? in my head. So let's start this. I'm going to go to the extended primitives. We're going to grab an oil tank. We'll drag a footprint on the ground here. Evil minds, is it over yet? I can well. So sacrifice yourself and let me have what's left. I know that I can find fire in your eyes. I'm going all the way. You take the breath right out of me. Should be just to make it through. I will be the death of you. Okay, let's bring this up. Flatten it in Z. We're going to get rid of the edges therein. Or at least that one. Is it over yet? Amen. So sacrifice yourself. Let me have what's left. I know that I can find. Two. Damn it. Two. You take the breath right out of me. You left a hole where my heart should be. Just to make it through. 'Cause I will be the death of you. Tick tock, tick tock. I'm waiting, realize. Okay, this one's gonna be a little weird to make. Let's go make a box. Go back to standard primitives box. Left a hole where my heart should be. So it looks like 15, 16. Convert to editable poly. Okay, let's go and zero this out. Okay, then we're gonna bring it up here. Whoop. Up here. A good life is what I need. Too many people standing over me. The one thing I need before I die. All I want. All I need. Whoa, whoa, all I want. You know what, I'm just gonna do one. Whoa, 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 the good life. The good life. Don't really know who I am. I know that any day will be the last. All I want to have a good time. The good life. It's a little of the good life. Whoa, 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 whoa. Bum 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 bo da dum dum da ga da do da doom. Do 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 do. I always wanted it this way. What did I do? 24. Do do do. The good life. Whoa. All I want. All I need. The good life. Oh. The good life. Okay, so not you, but you. Let's get this right on there. Okay, that should be flush. Okay, so let's do these two here. And these two here. Nightmare. Your nightmare comes to life. Steal. You should have known the price of evil. Yeah. It's your fucking nightmare. It ain't over, yeah. Feel. Should have known price of evil. Yeah, who want to go? Everybody to fear. Yeah, fucking nightmare. I cannot symmetry this. Bo-doo-doo, ba-doo-doo-doo-doo. Dumb. Do-ga-doo-doo. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-ga-doo-doo. Two copies. Meow meow.